Hey y'all, Iric Sky here. Welcome back to another Timepieces for Tomorrow video. And within this video, I want to talk about Ulysse Nardin, also commonly just referred to as UN. Does Ulysse Nardin make a good timepiece? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on this little screen here. And I'm going to show you the Ulysse Nardin Maxi Marine Diver up close. Now, this is a discontinued reference, and I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the good as it pertains to this timepiece. So this is the Ulysse Nardin Maxi Marine Diver. It's a 42.7 millimeter, I think, and this is an exceptional Ulysse Nardin, in my opinion. Now, Ulysse Nardin has a mixed. People either love them or they hate them, and it's part of that is due to the fact that they're a lot of people say the dial's too busy. And I'll go as far as to say there's a lot of Ulysse Nardin references that I don't care that much for, but this particular one is incredible. So this, again, is discontinued. It's a 42.7 millimeter Ulysse Nardin Maxi Marine Diver. Now, when you look at this, if you've got 4K, crank it up, but you can see the dial itself has it's kind of a burgundy, but it's got a quilted pattern look to it. So if you see this thing in the sunlight, it looks like the dial was woven together. So it's got a level of finishing that I don't have on any of my other timepieces. So this is the finishing is incredible. You can see the markers, they're elevated, but when it gets dark, and check out my separate video where I show you the Ulysse Nardin Maxi Marine Diver's lume. The lume on this is the best lume of any of my dive watches. I'll go as far as to say it obviously trumps my Submariner 114060. It trumps my Panerai Luminor, and obviously it trumps my Tudors and my Omega Seamaster. So it's and the Breitling. Now the Breitling Super Ocean Heritage too. The lume on that thing is pitiful. But yeah, the lume on this is incredible. The bezel action. Let's go to 12 o'clock here. And I'll shut up so you can hear it. 1. So to go from 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it's a 60 click bezel, meaning that if you go all the way around, it's 60 clicks. Now I'm going to be quiet. The bezel on this is very quiet, but it's got a great tactile feel. If you use a Rolex and Mariner bezel, you know how it makes that clicky sound. And also with the Tudors and even the Omega Seamaster 300M and the Breitling Super Ocean Heritage 2, this has a bezel feel and sound. It's a very muted sound, but it's got a very solid feel. Everything about this timepiece is very well executed. The crown, when you unscrew it to set the date and the time, this thing has a very solid and reassuring crown. The crown on this feels more solid than my Rolex Submariner. So I mean that's a true testament to the the degree of quality that they put into these Ulysse Nardins. So again, that crown is very solid, and it's nubby, so it's easy to grip with your sweaty or your wet hands. This particular piece has a power reserve indicator at the 12 o'clock position. You can see it's fully charged, as one might say, because I've been wearing it all day. And it's, but yeah, that's kind of neat, the up-down power reserve indicator. I've already talked about the quilted pattern on the dial, but look at the finishing of the Ulysse Nardin logo. At the 3 o'clock, it's got that anchor that's very well executed. Very high-end look that this timepiece has. It's got the small seconds. You can see down there at the 6 o'clock position, it's got the small seconds. And it says 1846. Ulysse Nardin, man, they've been making timepieces for a long time. Now, something worth mentioning, you can see down below, you can see the date. But guess what? When you put it sideways, the sapphire crystal is flat. So unlike a Rolex, it has what they call a cyclops that sticks out on the sapphire, which a lot of people, including myself, dislike. This has a cyclops, but look at that. It's 6 o'clock. It's a cyclops below the sapphire crystal. So the sapphire crystal is still flat, yet that cyclops below magnifies the date. So if you're getting old, or maybe your vision is just not good to begin with, you can see this date magnified exceptionally well. Again, the dial, just the quality of the dial. I mean, this is leaps beyond the dial finishing of a Rolex. And I love Rolex, but this is the next level good. The bracelet utilizes screws, which is nice. The center links of the bracelet are polished. A lot of people like to get these Ulysse Nardin Maxi Marine Divers on a rubber strap, but I'm not a big fan of rubber straps. It is worth mentioning, if you get one of these, I would recommend getting it on the stainless bracelet, and you can always add an aftermarket rubber strap. Because keep in mind, with the rubber straps, Ulysse Nardin rubber straps, they're custom fit for your wrist. So if you shrink or you get really fat, that strap's probably not going to fit anymore. This clasp, it's a deployant clasp. It does not have micro adjustment. So, if you're used to a Submariner that has micro adjustment, the current reference Submariner has micro adjustments, this doesn't. But it will pop open here if you want to, if you're putting it on over a wetsuit or something like that. But the bezel, and we didn't even talk about that, it's got like a wave type pattern in the bezel. So this is neat. A lot of people kind of compare this to the Rolex Yachtmaster in a way because of the bezel. Now, obviously, it's completely different, but a similar type of execution. But the Blue Wave, not Blue Wave, I'm thinking Omega Seamaster right now, but the wave pattern in the bezel is quite unique. This piece has a very unique wrist appearance. I mean, it's wrist presence. It's not something that I haven't seen anybody in the real world wearing Ulysse Nardin. So it's one of those things. If you wear one of these, it's not just, oh, is that a Rolex, man? It's not that kind of watch. It's got its own identity. It doesn't try to rip off any other brand that's on the market. It's its own thing. Again, Ulysse Nardin, for whatever reason, it seems like they receive a lot of hate. And I think that's the product of some of their timepieces. They use rubber and plastic and that kind of stuff. And that's just not my style. This right here is a stainless steel case, stainless steel bracelet, just very professionally executed. This is a great Ulysse Nardin. But there are a lot of them that, including myself, see, and they're just underwhelming. This is a fantastic example of in my opinion, a perfectly executed Ulysse Nardin dive watch. I mean, just everything about it is, you can see there, if you got 4K, you can really see that quilted pattern in the dial right there. But yeah, if you ever pick one of these up, take it out in the sunlight, and you will see that dial, and it's like, whoa, dude, I've never seen a wristwatch with a dial that looks like that. So something different, something you can swim with. Obviously, this has the case back of this is, it's a screw in. It's a screw in case back. So, you've got, unlike a Rolex Submariner with an oyster style case back, this case back is, it's got the screws there. But I mean, obviously, I'm not a watchmaker, so I never take the case back off. And it tells a little story in there. See, it says 18 gold medals. You can see that. I'll move my fingers so you can see it, so you can read that. So, yeah, just it's a great watch. And again, the bracelet is super comfortable. Look at that. If you're familiar with a Rolex oyster style bracelet, you would feel right at home with this on your wrist. It's got looks like it's got a slight taper, not a very pronounced taper to it, but there is a taper. If you look at this right here, you can see the taper. So, feels phenomenal on the wrist, looks phenomenal on the wrist, and doesn't scream, hey, I'm just a mainstream wristwatch. So something that stands out, that is very high-end. This isn't, a lot of these high-end timepieces, you wear them and they feel flimsy. This one feels solid. Again, the crown action on this, more solid than my Rolex Submariner, and that's saying a lot. I mean, it's just everything about this feels and wears in a premium way. So that's my opinions in regards to, these are my opinions in regards to Ulysse Nardin. What do you think? Comment below. Oh, and speaking of that, be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. And check out all of my timepieces for tomorrow videos. I've got a ton of videos now. a lot of live shows. Tune in from upcoming live shows. Whenever I go live with Timepieces for Tomorrow, I post the link within the chat, and you can choose to Skype in either audio only or audio and video and talk about wristwatches. So, you know, just something that I'm passionate about, something that I've enjoyed and continue to enjoy, and something there's a lot more to it than, you know, when you're in the wristwatch hobby, there's a lot more wristwatches than just Rolex, Omega, and Breitling. You know, those are great brands. You know, don't get me wrong, those are great brands. But when you really get out and you search, and fortunately before the situation occurred in 2020 where travel became next to impossible, you know, it was easy to go to these, what I just call the wristwatch capitals of the world. Not even Switzerland, but just in the Caribbean. You know, going down there and just walking down just streets in the Caribbean just full of wristwatch dealer after wristwatch dealer. And, you know, and that's where I got exposed to Ulysse Nardin. And admittedly, Ulysse Nardin, if you ask our pontiff, Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3's opinions of Ulysse Nardin may not be that great. You know, he's, again, subscribe to his channel, youtube.com/Archie Luxury, the most knowledgeable wristwatch person in the entire world. But with that being said, he probably won't speak highly of Ulysse Nardin. So this is something that our pontiff and I disagree about, but I disagree with him for the reasons I just stated. Why do you like Ulysse Nardin? Why do you dislike Ulysse Nardin? Comment below. You know, share your feedback, because that's what it's about, man. It's wristwatch collecting. You know, it's not like, oh, I got to get this brand or I got to get this, you know, this brand. You know, that's the thing about the cooler, you know, some of the cooler brands. I mean, these people have been making these watches since 1846. That's a long time, man. That's a long time. So they know what they're doing. And again, those years of experience, you can feel it in the premium fit and finish and just the overall wrist feel of this magnificent dive watch. Thanks for your viewership. And again, oh, and if you're looking for Timepieces for Tomorrow merchandise, and I don't have my sweatshirt on today, because I went for a walk, man. I smell sweaty, and I didn't want to put on my Timepieces for Tomorrow sweatshirt. But if you're looking for Timepieces for Tomorrow merchandise, look down below. I got sweatshirts, t-shirts, coffee mugs, pint glasses, stickers, and a whole lot more, man. Thanks for your support, and be sure to become a channel member too if you want to. I mean, subscribing's fine, but if you want to take it to the next level and become a channel member, I would deeply appreciate it. Let's help my channel grow. I want to really see Timepieces for Tomorrow grow. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.